Hey guys, welcome to my channel, and today we'll be reviewing Kaagaz 2. Now this is a movie that recently came out, and I'm going to be talking about my analysis, direction, acting, and at the end whether you should watch this movie or not. So stick around. Alright, so what's the plot of this movie? So the first installment of Kaagaz, when it came out, it was trying to give a identity to a person who has apparently lost it, and that's where you see Satish Kaushik, the late Satish Kaushik in it. But in this version of Kaagaz 2, Satish Kaushik has a daughter, and she has a mishap. She falls down and hits her head. There's a lot of internal bleeding. She has to be rushed to the hospital, and as he is taking his daughter to the hospital, there is a mass protest rally of a politician going on, and because of that, he wastes a lot of times just sitting stuck in the traffic jam. He receives no help, and his daughter dies. So this story is all about that injustice, and also what are the rights of a common man in the country of India owing to all these situations. So that is the central premise and core of Kaagaz 2. Alright, so let's do the analysis of Kaagaz 2. So at 2 hours 5 minutes, I feel this movie was very long, and I can tell you why. Because the opening scene of this movie is these cadets who are training at the Indian Military Academy. They are becoming officers, and that's where you see Darshan Kumar, who actually looks very old to be in that category. I mean, the guy is very fit, his physique is awesome, but when you look at the face compared to these young 18 to 21-year-old cadets, you can tell that Darshan probably needs some more Botox, or this casting is just not good. I mean, there is only so much you can do when you are in your 40s and you are trying to be looking like an 18-year-old. So you start to see IMA training, people marching, some sort of frustration with Darshan on his part. He doesn't want to be an IMA, and almost, so that takes like 10 to 15 minutes. I have seen the trailer of Kaagaz 2, and the reason that I wanted to watch this movie is because of Satish Kaushik. I see that Anupam Kher was also in it. Neena Gupta is. These are veteran actors from the National School of Drama. So that was my motivation to watch them. And these are really awesome actors. But 15 minutes into the show, and you don't see any one of them, and you're starting to see Indian Military Academy, you start to scratch your hair. It was like, what exactly is going on here? I mean, what is the purpose of IMA to the plot that I just talked about, which is that injustice, that system that favors few people and not the whole population? It's just a misalignment as to what. So the story just feels that it has almost exploded. Where is this heading towards? And I came to watch Satish Kaushik. So why are they showing this? There's just no connection here. So it's really disappointing, and you almost see like, okay, you almost are not sure and have no clue as to what's going on. So then now they shift into Satish Kaushik's role, which I talked about. His daughter tops the UPSC exam, which is the civil services, and they are trying to now do something else, travel somewhere. But as the daughter is trying to doing some search, collecting some items, she falls down, and then I talked about Satish Kaushik immediately leads his daughter in this car, but they're stuck in the traffic, and eventually she bleeds to death, and the doctor tells him that if you were 15 minutes earlier, we probably could have saved. So that really hits him. That he says that if he had started earlier, he would have done it, but he did. He left right away. But his whole body language is like that. I wish that there was no traffic jam, and lives could be saved. So he takes it upon him. He files a case, goes to the court against the politician, against that system, whoever was involved, the cops, the bureaucrats, and he takes the help of Anupam Kher. Now, Anupam Kher is this lawyer who represents Satish Kaushik, and he has his own story as well. So I talked about Darshan Kumar being in the IMA. Now the real story has starting, and now Anupam Kher is separated from his wife Neena Gupta. I just somehow feel like, was that even necessary? Why couldn't he just be with Neena Gupta and still be helping Satish Kaushik? So they kind of introduced too much variables over here. Neena Gupta doesn't really have a big role to play. She has a boyfriend. And of course, the movie goes back in the past where Darshan was a young boy and he just tries to copy whoever his seniors are, and that's why he gets into military kind. But it isn't really his sweet spot. I actually thought Darshan was very well made for the Indian military, at least from the beginning. But he just tells his superior that he wants to quit IMA, and he quits like a loser and comes home. He just has some time. That's where his girlfriend is also in the picture, and you can't almost look, what is she really even doing here? So there's a lot of murkiness happening, like why is this happening, you kind of question too many things happening. So Darshan comes home, he doesn't like his father because his father left his mother without even knowing what it is. Now Anupam Kher has blood cancer, so he wants to spend the last few months or years with Darshan. He calls him and Darshan gives him a hard time. Darshan tries to leave, and he figures out through Satish Kaushik that my dad is trying to help win this case, change the system. So he tries to now get into this real son mode with the help of his girlfriend, run campaigns. The courtroom drama is, of course, it's intense. I definitely liked the dialogues, the screenplay, and also the way that Anupam Kher gives his delivery. I mean, there are scenes, even the judge, Kiran Kumar, that is the only part in the movie that you're going to enjoy, because they bring politicians, the cops, the bureaucrats, and the kind of questions that come out are something that you would want to ask yourself to. All the system that is done is good only on the paper, but not when it comes to reality, and everyone's passing the buck. So Anupam Kher, in spite of having blood cancer, he kind of, he wins the case. So there's a lot of goodwill in the society with his son and everything. So this is definitely an eye-opener. This movie has something that I have not seen before, where because of a politician's rally, which in India, by the way, I didn't know that, when you have to do protests or rallies, you go to dedicated places, but you don't block the roads. But that's what Anupam Kher. So it's an educational movie. It's an awareness movie around what's good, what's bad, what's right, what's wrong, and how people just pass the buck. Goons who are essentially politicians, they're trying to harass this Anupam Kher, the client. You see that bad side also, but though that the 40% of the movie is centered around what everyone needs to hear, and that is, you gotta play your part, be a good human being, don't assume the road is just for you, it's for everyone, it's a public property. So I think that awareness and that enlightenment you see in Kaagaz, and that is the only strength in this movie. The other things that I talked about, the IMA, I talked about, the blood cancer of Anupam Kher, his relationship with, it's just fluff. It just doesn't make any sense. So I think that if these things would have been corrected, this movie could have been a lot better. And then in the end, you see that this guy, Darshan Kumar, he goes back into the IMA, they accept him. So the guy who quits the IMA comes back in the IMA, he becomes an officer. And then I just don't see how it connects to the main plot here. Now we're talking about a girl who died because of this protest, rallies, and no one gave an F about what's going on. The case is won by the client, but you're trying to connect a military officer's duty to the country to this plot. I just don't see the sense or understand it. So that's my analysis. Now, when it comes to direction, I mean, at some point you feel this is a directionless movie. Like, where is this heading? I talked about so many things, this, that, this, only 40% of thing is good. So, it's a good story, and there is a lot of good talent. Anupam Kher, late Satish Kaushik, Neena Gupta, Darshan, they have decent performances, and the director had to get more out of them. But unfortunately, I think he gets sidetracked into areas which are not complementing or amplifying the main core of the movie, and I don't know why. This could have just been a much shorter, as I said, this is a 2-hour movie. It could have been just a 1.5-hour movie. Darshan as a boy who could help his parents, and that's it. He could just be a supporting guy. So maybe Darshan was not even needed in this movie. So a lot of questions over here. So it almost feels like a B plus kind of a movie. I mean, it's not A minus, it's almost in the B. So you feel disappointed that why is the director not kind of focusing and bringing the story to move in that one cohesive way. It's just too fluffy to understand what is going on. I liked the movie, but I didn't like the way it was shown. Now, the most important part is, should you be watching this show or not? So, watch it for these actors. I mean, they've done a decent job over here. There is a great message in this story. And even though I was scratching my hair, I wanted to keep watching it to know what happens at the end. So you have to stick around to see what goes on. So it is something that is new to me. At least I haven't seen something like this before. So the intent is great. And if you like these actors, you have experienced something like this situation, which, I grew up in Delhi. This always used to happen. So this is something that is going to be an eye opener. But overall, I'm just going to give it 5 out of 10, guys. So that's my review overall, and if you liked it, please give a thumbs up. You can subscribe to the channel, or you can write some comments below if you want to. But that's me signing off. Until next time, take care. Bye bye.